Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told how to voice the radio. So today we need to take a look at Pokemon card 151, or Scarlet and Violet 151, as it is in English, and we need to have a look at some new cards that have gone and been revealed, because I think these look fun. Good. So let's start off with a card that I picked up in Japan for 100 yen. It is the artwork rare, the illustration rare of Machoke. Oh no! I love this card. This card is exceedingly cool. I think it's about the only way to phrase it. And it's another one of those, it's just an artwork rare that is absolutely brilliant. It's hard to say bad things about this card because it's just awesome, and I like this. I like having these cards that you can just really enjoy the artwork. Like, we'll get to Machamp in a second, don't you worry. Machoke, like, it's fine, alright? In terms of playability, 2 energy, 50, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. For a single energy, I'd actually, like, legit love it. For 2 energy, no. But that's not the point, ladies and gentlemen. It is this wonderful card with Machoke helping people move house, and there's a Meowth on the roof next to it because, I don't know, why not? There's a couple of Pidgey hanging around. Why would there not be? And, of course, for those of you that may remember, there is actually a reference here to Machoke Movers, which was some internet song thing a while ago. I just love that they've kind of brought that out of retirement to do this weird artwork rare. It makes me very happy indeed. So they've gone and revealed this one. This one is awesome. As for the Machamp, they have actually gone and revealed that one as well. I'm genuinely a fan of the Machamp. Now, into Stage 2 and it's awkward, it might never work, I agree. That doesn't mean I don't like it, ladies and gentlemen. What we've got here is an ability, Guts. If this Pokemon would be knocked out by damage from an attack, flip a coin. If heads, this Pokemon is not knocked out, and its remaining HP becomes 10. Now, something that's really important here is the wording. If this Pokemon would be knocked out by damage from an attack. Now, we've seen things in the past where if you would have full damage and will be KO'd by an attack. Focus Sash comes to mind, a card I played with a huge amount. Yeah, this doesn't need to have full. You can have 10 HP remaining, and your opponent tries to knock you out with damage, and you flip heads, and then you've still got 10 HP remaining, and you can potentially do that for the entire game and never get KO'd. That's brilliant. However, you've got to flip heads. If you flip tails, that's very, very bad. But also, it is damage. So, if you're going to be KO'd by poison, burn, dropping damage counters, instant KO, anything that isn't actually damage, unfortunately that won't save you, ladies and gentlemen, which is a little bit sad. Sorry about that, I suppose, but yeah, did have to point that one out. I know it's very sad, and I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but hey, you know, it's still a really nice ability. Like, a really nice ability. The kind of ability where, I don't know if people are going to be, like, legit taking this to regionals and things along those lines. It might not be good enough for that. But you know someone's rocking up to League Challenges and League Cups with this card. And they're going to flip, like, heads 10 turns in a row and win by a mile. And that's kind of going to be amazing. You know that's going to happen, right? As for the attack, 2 energy, 100, discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Like, 100 damage isn't enough, and I'm not going to pretend it is. It's not. 100 damage isn't good enough. What I will say is, if you're just not giving up prizes because you're not getting KO'd, it might be enough. But also discarding the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Like, you're not going to mill them out discarding 2 cards a turn. What you might do, however, is just continually catch the energy they need, the evolutions they need, the trainer cards they need. And you might end up kind of accidentally milling enough cards that you go ahead and win here, and that's kind of fantastic. Now, I want to shout the Magnemite and the Magneton out just very, very quickly here. Look, they're not particularly great cards, and this is one of the problems with 151, where you have to be a bit creative, because obviously we know that Magnemite and Magneton evolve into Magnezone, but there is no Magnezone in this set because it's 151. So, Magneton can recover item cards kind of thing. The reason I want to show this off is just for those of you that haven't seen it on my Twitter. While I was at Worlds, Pokemon took me to Creatures, where the card game is made, and one of the things I did at Creatures was I had a workshop with Yuka Mori, the artist who does the little models, where she showed us how to make this Magnemite, and I made this Magnemite from the card. And now that it's gone and been officially revealed, from the English set, I figured that was something worth mentioning just quickly. I made this Magnemite with Yuka Mori there, and it was awesome. She also made it idiot-proof, which is kind of lovely. But yeah, this one is cool. Now, an EX that has gone and been officially revealed is one that I like very much indeed. It's Golem. Golem, in my eyes, is the third best Gen 1 Pokemon. Porygon, Snorlax, Golem. Now, I'm not going to agree with you because I've just told you what is, in my eyes, the definitive list. But if any of you want to give me your top 3 Gen 1 Pokemon in the comment section, that would be awesome. I don't do enough organic, hey, show me some comment stuff in my videos. I'm going to start doing that more. But seriously, today, give me your top 3 Gen 1 Pokemon and tell me why it's Porygon, Snorlax, Golem. Now, I do like the 330 HP. That's amazing. I don't like that it's a stage 2. I do like the single energy attack, and I like the whole, it's 50 this turn, but then 170 next turn. During your next turn, attacks used by this Pokemon do 120 more to your opponent's active. So you can go single energy and do 170. Or you can go Rock Blaster, free energy 180, but if used after the first attack, it's 300. And if you hit anything for 50 and then 300, you'll KO. Like, the maximum HP we've seen in the Pokemon TCG so far is 340. 350 will KO, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Very literally everything. So, yeah. It's a card I like, but I do worry about it being a stage 2. Hey, speaking about it being a stage 2... how about Gengar? They've gone and revealed Gengar, ladies and gentlemen. And this is another one that I think could end up being really, really good. Because it's got Poltergeist. And look, it's a stage 2. I know it's a stage 2. I've admitted that it's a stage 2, okay? We've done that bit. However, single energy, and it's got Poltergeist. Your opponent reveals their hand. This attack does 50 damage for each trainer card you find there. So items, supporters, tools, stadiums, all of those, it does it very nicely. And this is a throwback to the old Gengar with Poltergeist, which was a phenomenal card. Like a game-breakingly good card. That was the one that came around in Stormfront, which for 2 energy, not 1, did 30 times the number of trainer, supporter, and stadium cards in your opponent's hand. Quick point of order here. Back then, back in Gen 4, what we now call items were called trainer cards, and items and tools weren't separated out. So it means trainers, as we would say nowadays. Nowadays, when we say trainer, we mean all kinds. Items, tools, which are now different, supporters, stadiums. But back then, it was separately trainers, which is now items and tools, supporters and stadiums. So though it looks like it's phrased differently, it's actually not phrased differently. Of course, it is worth noting that also had Fainting Spell, so if you KO'd Gengar, your opponent, from damage, it had to specifically be damage, kind of like the Machamp, exactly like the Machamp. But instead of surviving, if you flipped heads, you would also KO the attacking Pokemon. This was one of my literal least favourite cards in the game ever. It was horrendously bad for me. But yeah, this is the same. It was better than the attack on the old Poltergeist Gengar, which was amazing. But the old Poltergeist Gengar also had Fainting Spell. Shout out also to the Haunter here. That's got a nice little ability. When you evolve into it, you can put a supporter card from your opponent's discard pile into their hand. And you got to be careful you're not giving them a supporter card which they're going to be able to use to, help themselves. Don't give them a boss's orders that they're going to use to then just win the game. That would be silly. However, this is also pretty cool because it means you then do more damage with Poltergeist the next turn. and doing more damage with Poltergeist is one of those things we probably should be trying to do. That seems like a fairly sensible thing to go for. So this is another card that I'm just a pretty big fan of. We've got a lot of Stage 2s around at the moment that look like they could be very good, but gosh darn it, they're Stage 2s, and that kind of ruins everything. That's not lost on me, ladies and gentlemen. That is not lost on me. Speaking of Stage 2s, they've also gone and done the official reveal of Alakazam, which, to be fair, is the same card that is going to be in one of our EX boxes. So it's one we've seen before. It's just they've gone and shown off this artwork. So we're not going to talk about it for long. We don't need to. But I do just want to mention that they've gone and revealed this lovely Mitsuhiro Rita artwork. And just to remind you again, it's got an attack that can hit from the bench. So we've been talking about a bunch of Stage 2s. And it is worth noting here that this one, because you can kind of just whack something like a Klefki in the active to just slow your opponent down, then you can start rolling with this. That does actually give it a much bigger chance to end up being good than a lot of the other Stage 2s we've talked about here. Just, something to bear in mind. They've also gone and revealed a bunch of Stage 1s that we're not going to talk about for long, but I just want to give some love to the social media team for just the puns and the phrases they're choosing revealing these cards. It makes me very happy indeed. So Cloister has gone and been revealed. The world is your Cloister. It's not a good card. 2 energy 80 on a Stage 1 is not good enough. Hey ho. Mark, knowing you're toxic and owning every bit of it. I do like the single energy 30 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, their attacks are 1 energy more and the retreat cost is 1 more. That is to say, the Pokemon you hit with it. But again, it's a Stage 1. You're not really doing enough damage here. Unfortunately, this is another one of those where, like, the first time you look at it, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Ooh, maybe I can do something with that. And then you think about it for a minute and you're like, no, you can't. Dugong's got main character energy. Unfortunately, Dugong hasn't got main character attacks. Ever noticed how the Pokemon on the front of the booster pack tend to be pretty good? That is not a coincidence. There's a reason Dugong did not get on the front of the booster pack. 2 energy 50 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon is nice, but this is a way better attack when you're able to KO bench Pokemon, and unfortunately, it can't. And then we've got Dodrio. Dodrio runs at 40 miles an hour. What do? I make videos about the Pokemon trading card game, which either makes me really cool or a gigantic loser, depending on how much you like the Pokemon trading card game. Or my videos. Or me. I don't know. For now, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you need to know about Pokemon Card 151. It is coming up very soon. It is releasing next month. I'm very excited, but I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.